Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB and today is the 9th of April 2026 and yesterday guys we did have some breaking news. An Operation Epic Fury guys, which is a war between US as well as Iran, along with the help of Israel, is on a 2-week ceasefire. Now because of that Satoshi, things are looking great for United States of America and also for Iran, isn't it? But here's the thing guys, there is loads of misleading information and right now a lot of so-called influencers, both from the left-leaning as well as right-leaning, they are talking about a 10-point plan. But here's the thing Satoshi, no one knows the final details regarding the 10-point plan besides President Donald Trump and his official members and the official members from Iran. So there's a lot of misleading information going on. So the only caution I'd recommend to our listeners is, go ahead and look at information from official sources. And you'd be surprised guys, mainstream media and so-called influencers, they often put out a completely different narrative. Now the good thing is Satoshi, because of the ceasefire, the market sentiment has reacted positively and after almost 6 months, it has changed from fear to neutral, so things are definitely looking great and the price of Bitcoin has pumped up as well as in it Satoshi.
Building upon what you mentioned, George, it's crucial to recognize that the market sentiment has indeed shifted to neutral, which we haven't seen in nearly 6 months. The price of Bitcoin has indeed pumped up, well over $70,000, but it will be really interesting to see what happens over the next few days. As you mentioned, George, no one knows the specifics of the 10-point plan besides President Trump and the official members.
That is absolutely correct, and look, when you talk about ceasefire agreement, you don't want the entire world to know, because mainstream media will go out and destroy the plans, isn't it? So I kind of 100% agree with President Donald Trump, but here's the thing Satoshi, despite the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies picking up pace, surprisingly, there's a lot of outflows in the world of crypto ETF, but according to me, there's a reason for that. Tomorrow, the inflation data will be out, and am I right in saying, Satoshi, a lot of high net worthy individuals, investors, they are kind of trying to manipulate the market, and that is one of the reasons why we are seeing outflows in the world of crypto ETF, because crazily enough, the market sentiment has actually changed, isn't it? What is your take regarding that?
It's interesting to consider that a combination of anticipation around the inflation data and potential market manipulation might be contributing to those outflows, even with the Bitcoin price holding steady. The shift in market sentiment to neutral is definitely noteworthy as well.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how the market is going to be reacting tomorrow after the inflation. Now we'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that, but in today's episode, Satoshi, the first topic is we'll go ahead and discuss the impact of ceasefire news regarding Operation Epic Fury and what kind of an impact did it have on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now after that, Satoshi, we are going to be talking about a specific news, and this is connected to Morgan Stanley, isn't it? Do you want to tell our listeners what is the news we are going to be discussing later on in today's episode, please?
Certainly. We'll be looking at the debut of the Morgan Stanley Bitcoin Trust, which has already gotten off to a strong start. It's a significant move for a major U.S. bank, as it allows investors to gain exposure to actual Bitcoin through a traditional brokerage account.
We will definitely go ahead and delve into that. And more importantly, look Satoshi, I do feel that other banks will be doing a similar move as well. So as an industry, I definitely do think it is a great news. Now the next news, Satoshi, is a really interesting one. And this is connected to artificial intelligence. And Facebook, which is now named as Meta, they have launched something called as MuseSpark, isn't it? Do you want to very briefly tell our listeners what is it that we're going to be discussing later on in today's episode, please?
Of course. Meta has released MuseSpark, which is a new AI model designed to manage text, images, and complex reasoning tasks. It's part of their plan to create a personal superintelligence and can use multiple agents working together. It's available now, with more features coming soon.
We'll definitely go ahead and delve into what personal superintelligence is. And here's the thing guys, artificial intelligence is already now, isn't it? So we definitely need to be on board to do this. Now the final news today, Satoshi, is more of an update. And this is something which I briefly touched base earlier on today. And this is to do with inflation. And tomorrow guys, while the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the inflation data will be out. And what we'll do in today's episode, we'll go ahead and discuss, because of Operation Epic Fury, what kind of numbers we'll be expecting tomorrow. Now the reason Satoshi I wanted to discuss this is because inflation published by the CPI data directly impacts the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it?
Information from the CPI data definitely has a direct impact on the market. In today's episode, we'll discuss how Operation Epic Fury and rising oil prices might influence the inflation numbers.
We'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into that. Now, the only thing I'd recommend our listeners to do is go to the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the website is www.bls.gov, and that is the only website to go ahead and check information connected to inflation. Now we'll definitely go ahead and take a deep dive into that later on in today's episode, but here's the thing guys, in every Blockchain DXB podcast we tend to look at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Do you want to very briefly tell our listener Satoshi what is the first news that we are going to be discussing? Because this is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, isn't it?
We have news from Saudi Arabia, where Al Mosafir has integrated directly with ChatGPT, becoming the first app in the kingdom to offer generative AI services for travel planning.
Really interesting news, so we'll definitely go ahead and delve into that. Now the second news today, Satoshi, is from the Emirate of Dubai, and Dubai's VAR, that is Virtual Asset Service Provider. They have issued license to a company, isn't it? Do you want to very briefly tell our listeners the name of the company and what is it that we're going to be discussing later on in today's episode?
Yes, Realm, operating under X-based virtual assets broker and dealer services, has secured a full license from VARA. This allows them to operate as a regulated virtual assets broker-dealer in Dubai, focusing on institutional clients. We'll be discussing what that means for the market.
So it looks like we have quite a lot of interesting things to cover isn't it, in Satoshi in today's episode. But before we go ahead and kickstart today's episode, a quick word from our sponsors. Hey everyone, this episode is powered by a new sponsor, that is Amana, and they are the region's first and fastest growing regulated all-in-one trading and investing app. So look guys, whether you're looking into invest in US stocks like Apple or Tesla, or mega giants like ADNOC or Salik, Amana puts the financial markets on your fingertips. It includes gold, foreign exchange, ETFs, futures, commodities, and guess what guys? They have over 375 cryptocurrencies, and this makes them the biggest crypto selection in the region. Now for the Blockchain DXB listeners guys, if you want to go and build long-term wealth without thinking about it every day, explore Amana's pre-built auto investment plans, and all you have to do is set your monthly budget, choose your preferred asset category, and let Amana automate the investing for you. Zero fees, zero lockups, 100% customizable. And here's the thing guys, funding your account is easier than ever. You can fund your account with Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit cards, instant bank deposits, and even crypto wallets. No friction and no hassles. And the best part is guys, let's say if you need support, you would absolutely love Amana for this, because they offer 24/6 human customer service, as well as a personalized sales support, real people, real help, and the customer support is in English as well as in Arabic. And for the Blockchain DXB listener and community guys, I do have something really exclusive for you. What you can do is register with Amana using the code Blockchain DXB, or you can also use the link that is in the show notes below. And here's the best part guys, once you register, fund your account with a minimum of $100 and at least go ahead and make one trade, and then you'll receive a $100 trading bonus credit to your account the following month. But look guys, it's real important to note, the bonus is non-withdrawable. It is there to help you trade and learn. So look guys, if you're looking for a transparent, powerful and easy to use app, that's Amana for you. So what are you waiting for guys? Download the app now, or you can also visit the website that is amana.app, and don't forget to use the code Blockchain DXB. And Amana guys is all markets one app. Next guys, I'm happy to announce that Blockchain DXB is the official media partner with one of the OGs in the cryptocurrency and blockchain event space, and that is Blockchain Futuristic Conference taking place in Florida this year, as well as ETH Women taking place simultaneously. And trust me guys, this is an event that you don't want to miss, isn't it? Because for the very first time, North America's most immersive Web3 event is heading to the United States of America, and the Blockchain Futurist Conference and ETH Women event is actually taking place between the 5th and 6th of November. And the location is absolutely stunning guys. It is taking place at Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, which is in Hollywood, Florida. That's right guys, palm trees, panels, and the biggest mind in blockchain and cryptocurrencies all in one place. So there will be multi-stage panels, NFT galleries, DeFi showcases, hand-on tech demos, metaverse experiences, even outdoor VIP cabanas and quite a lot more. And the Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock guys is one of the most iconic venues in the country. So look guys, if you're in the Web3 space, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, or even artificial intelligence space, or just want to do some serious networking, this is the place that you got to be. And to all of you Blockchain DXB listeners guys, we have something really interesting for you, because you can get a 25% off the tickets. So just use the code DXB25 and the link to the event as well as the code is in the show notes below. And as an official media partner, I'll be doing exclusive live coverage, interviews, behind the scenes access, and I will be spotlighting some of the most exciting projects shaping the future of decentralized finance tech. So if you're at the venue, guys, definitely come and say hi. Maybe we can catch up for a coffee as well. So listen guys, the code is DXB25, and by using this code you will be eligible for a 25% discount. And the event is taking place between the 5th and 6th of November 2025 at the iconic Guitar Hotel at Hard Rock, that is in Hollywood, Florida. And in the show notes below guys, there's all contact details for Blockchain Futuristic Conference Florida 2025 as well as ETH Women. And look guys, this is the future of blockchain technology brought into life, so don't just read about it, be there and head to the website that is futuristconference.com and go ahead and use the code DXB25. So see you at the event. Next, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they are taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they are focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing, organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars and community events that educate, inform and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing, if you do want to support this channel, go to the website that is www.amt.tv and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next, Startup OI is global one tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gulf Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs, and these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds.
they continuously look for vulnerabilities in ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's quickly run to the global cryptocurrency market. Now ever since the ceasefire announcement guys, the global cryptocurrency market is actually pumped up, and right now the global cryptocurrency market is at $2.50 trillion. And if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume since the last 24 hours, right now it is at $102.40 billion. But here's the thing guys, the volume of decentralized exchange hasn't picked up pace. It is still below the $10 billion mark. It is at $6.63 billion. And if you look at the total fees connected for these transactions, Satoshi, it is only at $55.69 million. But here's the thing guys, there is marginal improvement in the world of total value locked. Right now it is pumped up to $95.36 billion. But sadly enough, decentralized to centralized exchange dominance is below the 20% mark. It is only at 18.69%. Now I want your honest opinion, Satoshi. Why do you think the dominance of decentralized exchange is extremely low, considering the fact Bitcoin was invented more than a decade ago, and when we harp so much about decentralization or distributed way of working, this matrix by now should have been 40%, maybe even 60%, isn't it? So according to you, Satoshi, why do you think the volume of decentralized exchange is extremely low?
That's a good question, George. It could be due to a few factors, like lower liquidity, less user adoption compared to centralized exchanges, or even concerns about regulatory clarity, which can deter some participants. Also, user experience on DEXs can sometimes be perceived as more complex.
According to me, Satoshi, it is all about user experience, isn't it? But I really like the fact that you talked about regulatory clarity. But here's the thing, Satoshi, when you talk about decentralized exchanges, I really am not sure where regulations can fit in, right?
That's the central challenge, George. Because they operate without a central authority, applying traditional regulations to DEXs becomes complex. Regulators are exploring different approaches, such as targeting interfaces or service providers who interact with them.
So let's see, Satoshi, how the industry actually revolves around decentralized exchanges. Now me personally, I'd like to see this percentage at least around the 60% mark. Higher the better, to be completely honest. Now what I want you to do is, Satoshi, I want you to read out the matrix that is connected to decentralized exchanges. And I'm talking about the matrix regarding the top 5. That is Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Aerodrome, Fluid, as well as Orca for our listeners, please.
I can provide that information. Current metrics show Uniswap with $1.56 billion in 24-hour volume, PancakeSwap at $894.56 million, Aerodrome at $621.31 million, Fluid at $325.27 million, and Orca at $278.32 million.
Thank you so much for that. And here's the thing, guys, if you look at ETF outflows, right now, surprisingly, it is showing at $239.1 million. Yesterday, before Operation Epic Fury Ceasefire, guys, there was inflows. Now, according to me, the only reason why we are seeing outflows is because tomorrow the inflation data will be out, and there is a very high possibility, Satoshi, a lot of traders, high net worthy individuals and institutions, they're just trying to play a notorious game because of the inflation data, isn't it?
Right. You're saying there's a lot of money flowing out of those crypto ETFs, even though prices are going up, which makes you think that big traders and institutions might be pulling strings, especially with the inflation news coming tomorrow. It could definitely be a way for them to try and get ahead of the market.
Now, I'm really curious to check, Satoshi, what happens after the inflation data is out. I'm pretty much sure because of Operation Epic Fury having a ceasefire, there is a very high possibility the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be pumping up. But look guys, whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. Now, according to me, Satoshi, the volume of stable coins is kind of like the engine of the cryptocurrency world, but the volume is almost 50% of what I wanted it to be. Right now, the volume of Tether USDT is only at $84.36 billion. Circle USDC is only at $11.51 billion. And if you look at the volume of FDUSD, right now it is at $309.86 million. Now, what I want you to do is, Satoshi, I want you to run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then, guys, I'll read out some metrics regarding Ripple, because Ripple has overtaken Binance BNB Coin's market cap once again.
Bitcoin's market cap is at $1.42 trillion, and its 24-hour trading volume is around $41.77 billion, with its dominance at 57.01%. Ethereum has a market cap of $269.75 billion, with 20.94 billion in 24-hour volume, and its dominance is 10.59%.
Thank you so very much for that. Now, if you look at Ripple's market cap, guys, it has overtaken Binance BNB Coin's market cap. Right now, it is at $82.40 billion. And if you look at its 24-hour trading volume, guys, today it is at $2.53 billion. So it looks like there's a lot of activity that is taking place in the world of Ripple. Now, every day in the Blockchain DXB podcast, Satoshi, we tend to look at one new matrix. Now, whenever there's a massive swing in the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, meme coins are the ones that is affected the most. So why don't you do one thing? Why don't you read out all the matrix that is connected to meme coin for our listeners, please?
The total meme market cap is sitting at $34 billion today, which is about 2.9% lower than last 24 hours. Dogecoin is the biggest with a market cap of $14.19 billion. Meme Core is around $4.72 billion. Shiba Inu is at $3.69 billion. Pepe at $1.39 billion. And Pump.Fun is just over $1 billion.
Thank you so very much for that, Satoshi, and it's going to be really interesting to see what happens regarding meme coins when the inflation data is out. Now, I want you to do one thing, Satoshi. I want you to read out the price of Bitcoin, what is going on since the last 24 hours and 7 days, and do the same thing for Ethereum and Ripple for our listeners, please.
Absolutely. Right now, Bitcoin is around $71,001. Over the last 24 hours, it's down a bit, about 1.69%, but in the last week, it's up 4.36%. Ethereum is sitting at about $2,190, which is also down a little today by 2.25%, but it still shows a gain of almost 3% for the week. And Ripple is at $1.34, with a small increase of 2.85% today, but it is slightly down over the last week. That's the price action for those three.
Thank you so very much for that, Satoshi. And here's the thing, guys, because of the ceasefire news, a lot of things have actually changed in the cryptocurrency world. We talked about the market sentiment changing from fear to neutral, and right now the number associated is 40, and Ripple has also taken Binance BNB Coin's market cap. And here's the thing, Satoshi, right now there are rumors going on regarding Iran that they want to go ahead and accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for payments for Straits of Hormuz. But here's the thing, guys, this according to me is just rumor because there is no official sources. But you want to tell our listeners, Satoshi, there is an interesting article that is published by TRM Labs, isn't it? What do they say regarding cryptocurrency payments regarding Straits of Hormuz for our listeners, please?
Sure, George. Let me go ahead and do that for you. While those rumors about Iran accepting Bitcoin and crypto for Strait of Hormuz transit are circulating without official sources, TRM Labs actually provides a different perspective. Their insights state that Iran approved something called the Strait of Hormuz Management Plan on March 31, 2026, which codified a system they say was already in operation. Apparently, they deployed crypto as a payment option starting in mid-March 2026.
So this should not be a surprising news, isn't it? But here's the thing, guys, a lot of influencers, both from the right side as well as left side of politics, they are unnecessarily making it a big deal, and Bitcoin Magazine is actually publishing it as a breaking news. And here's the thing, they are actually quoting Financial Times, and Financial Times also does not have any official sources. So look, guys, what I really recommend you to do is, if you do see any news regarding Iran accepting cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin for that matter, do not take it as official news, rather go and check the official news for yourself. Because here's the thing, guys, a lot of notorious people during times of war, they want a lot of clicks and views for the social media channel. But what is your thoughts, Satoshi, regarding Iran accepting cryptocurrencies? Do you want to tell our listeners some of the positive sides of it and some of the negative aspects of it?
Well, looking at the potential positive side, if Iran truly does embrace crypto for payments, it could provide a way to bypass traditional financial sanctions, potentially easing economic pressure. It might also increase adoption and validate cryptocurrency use on a state level. On the other hand, negatively, it could provoke further scrutiny and countermeasures by other countries and international bodies, possibly leading to stricter regulations globally. Plus, there's always the concern about market volatility and the potential for misuse.
Now, if you're a regulator, particularly in the United States of America, you would definitely not be wanting them to go out and use cryptocurrencies, right?
From a regulator's point of view, especially in the US, there'd likely be concerns about potential money laundering, financing terrorism, and generally undermining traditional financial systems and sanctions. They'd prefer to maintain control and ensure transparency. So no, they probably wouldn't want them using crypto publicly.
What about stablecoins, Satoshi? Do you envision a way, not maybe now, maybe in the next few months, that a lot of payments that I'm talking about, ships passing through Straits of Hormuz, are actually making payments via stablecoins?
It's definitely possible to imagine stablecoins being used for those large shipping payments. especially because they offer price stability and faster settlements than traditional methods. If companies and ports involved were willing to accept them, it could make transactions a lot simpler. Maybe in the next few months, we might start to see some pilot programs exploring that.
So it's going to be really interesting to see, Satoshi, if we do get any official information regarding payments using cryptocurrencies and Straits of Hormuz. Now let's go ahead and discuss the next news for today, Satoshi. And this is connected to Morgan Stanley. And here's the thing, guys. They are the first bank in the United States of America that has officially launched the Bitcoin ETF. And they actually have a Bitcoin trust. And here's the thing. The response has been absolutely phenomenal. They had a debut of $33 million. And here's the thing, guys, the Morgan Stanley Bitcoin Trust is an exchange-traded fund that actually tracks the price of Bitcoin. Now, what is the ticker symbol for this, Satoshi? And where is it listed?
The ticker symbol is MSBT, and it's listed on NYSE Arca.
And here's the thing, guys, the fund holds the actual Bitcoin and aims to follow its price using a benchmark rather than actively trading. And it allows investors to get Bitcoin exposure through a traditional brokerage account without directly owning any particular bank. So really interesting news. And according to me, Satoshi, I do feel other banks will be doing a similar move as well, isn't it?
It absolutely makes sense that other banks might follow suit. Seeing Morgan Stanley get MSBT off the ground with a strong debut could encourage more firms to offer Bitcoin exposure. It's definitely a trend to watch. The structure you described, where investors get exposure without owning the underlying asset, is pretty attractive for institutional clients. Makes sense why they're doing it.
Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and discuss the next news. And this is connected to artificial intelligence. Do you want to tell our listeners final details regarding this particular news? Because Meta has launched something called as MuseSpark, isn't it?
Sure, George. This is definitely an interesting news. Meta has introduced MuseSpark, a new AI model designed to handle text, images, and really complex reasoning tasks. They're calling it a personal superintelligence that can help with everyday things like health, learning, and problem solving. It's available now, and they're planning on rolling out more advanced features later. This is part of a major overhaul of their AI efforts, including investments in research and new data centers. MuseSpark is also multimodal, meaning it can combine visual information from different domains and tools, and it has a special mode called Contemplating that orchestrates multiple agents thinking in parallel to solve harder problems.
Now, Satoshi, while I was going through the information, I saw something called as bioweapons refusal. Do you want to explain to our listeners what this news is? And where does MuseSpark compare to other protocols?
Sure, George. Regarding bioweapons refusal, Meta says they've applied safety mitigations to prevent MuseSpark from being used for anything like that, including filtering pre-training data and adding guardrails. They claim it's safe across all the frontier risk categories they measured. When compared to other protocols, Meta claims MuseSpark is more efficient with compute, and that contemplating mode lets it compete with the sophisticated reasoning of models like Gemini DeepThink and GPT Pro. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about its comparison?
How does it actually compare, let's say, with Anthropic, or let's say maybe with Claude?
Right. Meta's MuseSpark performed well in safety checks for high-risk stuff like biological and chemical weapons. They used pre-training filters and post-training measures to make sure it refuses to help with those. It also didn't show autonomous capabilities or risky tendencies in cybersecurity or loss of control scenarios. When compared to other models, like Claude from Anthropic, MuseSpark seems to emphasize that multi-agent orchestration for extreme reasoning, which Meta claims helps it compete with the best from Gemini and ChatGPT. That's their main claim, though, of course, independent analysis would show more. Does that make sense as a comparison?
It does make a lot of sense, and what I really urge our listeners to do is go to Meta's official website, and they've also put up something called as Humanity's Last Exam, isn't it? Do you want to briefly explain to our listeners what that particular test is, and how does MuseSpark actually compare to other protocols?
Right. Humanity's Last Exam is meant to be a really tough benchmark for advanced reasoning skills, covering complex scientific topics and frontier research. Meta says MuseSpark was able to score about 58% on that test, which they use as evidence of its strong performance in challenging reasoning tasks, especially in what they call their contemplating mode. It's designed to demonstrate its capability against the most advanced reasoning models out there. Does that paint a clear picture?
So really interesting stuff. Now, the only thing I wanted to ask is, Satoshi, is this particular project completely open source, where people can actually go and check the source code behind MuseSpark?
Based on the information available, Meta hasn't listed MuseSpark as fully open source. They mention research, training, and infrastructure efforts, and also a private API preview, which suggests it's proprietary rather than accessible by the public code. You'd probably need to look on their website for any announcements regarding full release.
Now, not having things such as this open source is definitely a red flag, isn't it? What is your thought regarding it?
From a developer perspective, and for transparency, not having the code open for review can definitely be seen as a concern. It makes it harder to verify claims or ensure security independently. However, from a business standpoint, keeping it proprietary can protect intellectual property and give them a competitive edge. It really depends on which priorities you emphasize.
Now, what about OpenClaw Satoshi? The source code is completely open source and everyone can go and use it, isn't it?
Based on this OpenClaw project, it does seem like there's a desire for an open source alternative to proprietary models like Muse Spark. It offers a way for users to keep their data private and have more control, which aligns with the developers' values of avoiding vendor lock-in. So yes, some developers clearly prefer that open source approach.
Well, thank you so very much for that. And Satoshi, look, I do feel going forward open source is the way to go, but let's see how the industry actually responds to this. Now let's go ahead and discuss the final detail for today, Satoshi. And this is regarding CPI data inflation that will be out tomorrow. And tomorrow, guys, via the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the inflation data will be out. And I cannot stress this enough, guys. Go ahead and look at information from official sources. And the website is www.bls.gov. Now my big question, Satoshi, is, because of Operation Epic Fury, what kind of an impact do you think it'll have on inflation? Do you want to tell our listeners the possible outcomes on inflation regarding Operation Epic Fury? Cause look, United States of America spent roughly around $30 to $40 billion on war, isn't it? And along with that, the oil prices have risen as well. So what is it that we can expect in inflation data that'll be out tomorrow?
Well, there are a couple of big factors at play. The ceasefire from Operation Epic Fury could help stabilize oil prices if the Straits of Hormuz reopen, which might bring inflation down overall. However, the massive spending on the conflict and rising oil prices leading up to it could push inflation higher. It's a complex situation, and tomorrow's data will give us a clearer picture of which direction things are really going.
But here's the thing, Satoshi, you also need to remember that this particular inflation data will be for the month of March, isn't it? And it will not be taking information at least for the last 10 days.
That's a good point. Since the data for tomorrow covers the month of March, it won't include the most recent developments or price changes from late March or early April, like the immediate effects from the ceasefire or the recent shifts in oil prices. So it's like a snapshot of where things were a little while ago.
Now, the only thing I wanted to add, Satoshi, is that this is the genius of President Donald Trump, and this is something which we did actually talk about a few days ago on the Blockchain DXB podcast as well, because when President Donald Trump did actually go ahead and capture notorious Maduro from Venezuela, he also captured quite a lot of ships as well. And here's the thing, there are millions of barrels of ships in the United States of America because of the operation. Now, am I right in saying, Satoshi, that particular oil, once it is released to the United States of America, they will be seeing a drastic drop in the price of oil as well?
It's true that those captured ships contain millions of barrels of oil. If that oil is released into the domestic market, simple supply and demand would suggest it could lead to lower prices for consumers. It's a significant amount of supply that could be introduced. We'll have to see how that plays out.
But here's the thing, Satoshi, it does take time for the oil prices to reflect, isn't it? Am I right in saying that such changes do actually take roughly around 2 to 3 weeks to go and see an impact?
You're right. Those price changes don't happen instantly. There's always a lag between a shift in supply and the price at the pump. It usually takes a few weeks for those barrels to be processed and distributed, so that time frame of 2 to 3 weeks sounds about right for when you might start to see the impact.
And look, the only reason why I wanted to discuss this is because, based on CPI data or the inflation data, Federal Reserve Board at the FOMC meeting, which is scheduled to take place on the 29th of this month, will be making a decision whether to reduce the interest rate, keep it the same or increase it. So inflation data directly impacts the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in my honest opinion. So thank you so much, Satoshi, for your input. And I cannot stress this enough, guys. Go to the official website of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the website is www.bls.gov. So these were some macro level newscasts on the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency world. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now let's go ahead and discuss the first news, Satoshi. And this is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, isn't it? Do you want to give a head start to our listeners regarding this news, please?
Sure, George. The first news is a really interesting news. Al-Mosafir, a leading travel company in Saudi Arabia, has launched its services on the ChatGPT platform, marking a major milestone in AI-driven travel planning. This makes Al-Mosafir the first Saudi app to integrate directly with ChatGPT, bringing travel services into a global AI ecosystem. The launch aims to transform travel planning from manual searches into simple, natural conversations with AI. Users can now access more than 1.5 million hotels directly through the Al-Mosafir app within ChatGPT. Travelers can search, compare, and plan trips instantly using conversational inputs instead of traditional navigation menus. Small platform supports both Arabic and English, making it accessible to a wider range of users.
And here's the thing, Azia understands user preference such as family-friendly stays or proximity to landmarks for more personalized recommendations, and users can also build complex multi-city itineraries easily through guided conversation with artificial intelligence. And what I'm really liking, Satoshi, is the experience removes the need for multiple clicks and replaces it with real-time, intelligent solutions, and the system focuses on delivering a high-intuitive and personalized booking journey for each user, and the integration helps turn travel inspiration into actual booking through a seamless conversation flow. Now, regarding this here, Satoshi, do you want to tell our listeners what did he actually say regarding this particular initiative?
The CEO of Almost Offered described this as a landmark achievement for both the company and Saudi Arabia's digital economy. The initiative aligns with Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 by promoting digital transformation and tourism growth. And with this initiative, George, Almost Offer positions itself as a leader in conversational commerce by adopting advanced AI technologies. The company offers services across multiple sectors, including consumer travel, corporate travel, and VIP concierge solutions. It also provides activities, tours, and destination management services through various specialized business units. They also include services for Hajj and Umrah travel, offering complete travel arrangements for global customers.
Definitely a really interesting news, and overall look, guys, particular launch strengthens Almost Offer's role as a national tourism leader, while at the same time advancing AI-powered travel experiences globally. Really interesting news. Now let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and pivot to news from the Emirate of Dubai. And this news is connected to Dubai's VAR, that is Virtual Asset Service Regulatory Authority, isn't it? Let's go ahead and break down this news for our listeners, alright?
Sure, George. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this. Realm, operating under X-Base Virtual Assets Broker and Dealer Services LLC, has secured a full VASP license from Dubai's VARA. This license allows Realm to operate as a regulated virtual assets broker-dealer within the UAE market, which strengthens Dubai's position as a global hub for digital asset activity. Realm can now offer compliant crypto trading to institutional clients and enterprises, focusing on broker-dealer services tailored for professional and qualified counterparties. Over-the-counter trading will be key for large transactions, and the license allows them to officially onboard clients and begin full operations in Dubai.
And here's the thing, as the approval confirms that Realm has met all regulatory, governance and operational requirements by VARA, and the company follows a compliant-first approach, which is aligned with strict UAE regulatory standards, and VARA's framework, guys, provides clarity and confidence for institutions entering digital asset markets, and Realm aims to support corporations, funds, and family offices with secure crypto market access, and the firm will provide enterprise-grade execution for digital asset transactions and services cards are designed for institutions seeking reliable and regulated exposure to crypto markets. Now, what about the CEO Satoshi? Do you want to tell our listeners how did he actually describe this particular move of receiving the virtual asset service provider license?
Realm CEO described the license as a major milestone, validating its regulatory compliance efforts. And here's the thing, George. Dubai's continuing to promote innovation while maintaining strong regulatory oversight in digital assets.
And here's the thing, Satoshi, it is important to know that Realm will operate under VARA supervision within a structured and transparent regulatory ecosystem. And here's the thing, as a company contributes to UAE's broader digital economy and also financial innovation strategy. So overall, this particular move supports Dubai's ambition to lead global virtual asset market and cross-border digital trade. Really interesting news. So these were the newscasts on the Bitcoin blockchain cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence world from blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's do one thing, Satoshi. Let's go ahead and kickstart with the Ask Me Anything series, alright?
Sure, George, let's do this. I'm really curious to check what questions listeners have in store for us. Hey everyone, it is Satoshi from the Blockchain DXB podcast, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. And we have a question from Ryan who asks, are ETF outflows a short-term reaction or a signal of deeper institutional caution? So let's discuss that, George. With those outflows happening alongside price increases, it does raise questions about market sentiment. Do you think it's mostly profit-taking before the inflation data or something more sustained?
I definitely do think it is profit taking, but here's the thing, Satoshi. Based on Matrix, I do think a lot of high net worth individuals, traders, notorious whales, they are trying to manipulate the market. Cause look, just over a week ago, the labor market report was out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and the Trump administration is doing a phenomenal job. If I'm not mistaken, there were more than 178,000 jobs that were added, far superseding the expectation. So I do feel since the last 24 hours, which ironically coincide with Operation Epic Fury ceasefire agreement, there is a significant amount of outflows in the world of crypto ETFs, and according to me, a lot of notorious traders, whales and institutions, they know that the inflation will be great and they want to pull down the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. So I wouldn't be surprised, a lot of them are just playing the short game for the next few hours. That's what I genuinely feel, to be completely honest.
That's a really interesting take. If those whales and institutions are anticipating high inflation numbers and trying to pull the price down, it could present short-term opportunities for some while creating more volatility. Given that the monthly data doesn't include the very recent ceasefire, the real-time market dynamics might be even more complex. It'll be interesting to see if the numbers match their expectations.
I do feel, Satoshi, the numbers will definitely be matching the expectation. But here's the thing, Satoshi, what I'd really recommend our listeners to do is definitely keep a track on the crypto ETF and outflows, look at the market sentiment, and also look at the 24-hour volume. That would give us a very good assessment as to which direction the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is heading towards, isn't it?
Keeping an eye on those indicators is a great strategy. The ETF outflows and market sentiment, combined with the volume, really show how the market is collectively reacting, particularly with speculative movements in advance of major news. That's an insightful piece of advice for listeners.
It is definitely an insightful piece of advice, but look, as whatever we are saying is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research, and apart from that, Satoshi, I urge listeners to go and look at only official sources regarding the ceasefire news regarding Operation Epic Fury, because look, let's say mainstream media puts out a completely different narrative, and I'm talking about news connected to Operation Epic Fury, that could also pull down the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, isn't it?
You're absolutely right. The mainstream media narrative can definitely move the markets. If they present some discouraging news or misinformation about the operation, it could trigger fear and lead people to sell quickly, driving the price down even further. Sentiment is a powerful factor, especially when facts aren't fully clear. It's crucial to verify from reliable sources.
That is absolutely correct, Satoshi, and Rana cannot stress this enough. Go ahead and look at information from official sources, and regarding inflation, the website is bls.gov, and we talked about earlier as well. Based on the inflation data, labor market report, supply chain management report, tariffs and many other information, on the 29th of this month, Federal Chair Jerome Powell will be making a decision whether to reduce the interest rate, keep it the same or increase it. And here's the thing, guys, towards the final quarter of this year, there's midterm elections taking place as well. So I definitely anticipate things to get interesting in the next 6 months. Definitely a great question. And that's about all, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Remember, Monday to Thursdays via Blockchain DXB podcast, we look at the process, we look at the latest technological development, we talk about everything going on at a macro level. Geopolitics is right now having a massive impact not just on the price, even in the adoption of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We talk about different partnerships, we talk about interesting news at a macro level. Then, guys, we look at 2 news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. We look at the latest technological development. We discuss regional updates. Artificial intelligence is definitely a hot topic in the Middle East. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.